Hello everyone, it's Mr. G. So we are now nearly on our last video for this stage. What we got to do is modify how our snowflake is and set up on Illustrator here so it's ready for 3D laser cutting. Sorry, laser cutting, not 3D. And to do that we need to first of all get rid of this annoying pesky border that followed it through. So I'm just going to drag, I'm just going to select the outside line and click delete. And then once that's done, you can then select all of the sections of your snowflake, right click on one of them and go group. Once you've done that, you can then click and drag and it drags as a single object, which is quite handy. Okay, so I'm going to select this and I'm going to go to my kind of like translation tools up here, and I'm just going to select the reference point as center and then going to go to 50 and then 50 again for the X and the Y, and now this is perfectly within the middle of my 100 by 100 size square. I'm going to simply grab the top key here and just rotate a little bit until I get to the point where none of the lines are actually touching the edge. Okay, I've got a bit too far, just a little bit back. There you go. You can see white all the way around the edge. Perfect. Okay, now we need to change these stroke lines, the lines of our snowflake, to something that the printer can understand a bit better. Depending on the color and the thickness, that's what we call the stroke of the lines, or the stroke of the line is what we call the thickness of the line, I guess you could say. Changes what the printer will do to it. So different color will cut differently, different thickness will cut differently again. So we're going to go up to the top here and we're going to hold shift, like it says here, to bring up an alternate color UI, and then under the options here we're going to change that to RGB. And then under the top one, which is red, we're going to type in 255. Clicking the 0 for the affected change, you can now see that we've got a red snowflake. We don't want this to be a large stroke like it is though. We want this to be thin lines. So we're going to point 0, 1. So I just type in 0.1 on my number pad and find that the easiest way. Clicking off affects that change. And you can see now that it's very faint, the lines. Clicking Control 0 to zoom in to full view, you can see that the lines are still all there, but they're very, very faint. Now this is the point where if you wanted to add in some text, you can select the text tool and you can maybe just type in along the top here, Merry Christmas. Okay, having done that, you can then drag it down. I clicked escape once. I can drag it wherever I like it. Hovering slightly, I'm going to try and align it somewhat to this just spigot here or spur of the snowflake, trying to get it nice and neat. And as long as I then double click on it all with the text tool selected and then hold shift and click on the alternate UI and check those are 0, 0, 0, then this will engrave on top of my snowflake nicely. So if you want to do that, you certainly can. And that's it. You have now modified this ready for laser cutting. Well done.